So, the first half of Series 6 is over, and we have two things to get us through this summer. We have Torchwood, and we have fanfic. And in that spirit, the following is a mirror from a contest from Al1981X called the Doctor Who Story Contest, where he gives the first part of a story and you're supposed to finish the second part of the story. And next week here on the WhoviansUSA channel, I will read my second half to his story. And yeah, should be good. And he says that we can bring back any character we want. We can introduce new characters and whatnot. So I think I'm going to take it upon myself, since no one at the BBC has, and I'm going to bring back the Daleks. And maybe Rose. Rose shippers unite. Here's the contest.
It was a blustery day in Upper Legworth, and the house was filled with the sound of rain against the roof and windows. On the window-sill inside, a yellow diamond caught a little ray of pure white sunlight from between the clouds and stood out beautifully against such a dreary setting. Amy and Rory sat at opposite ends of the sofa in silence. They had been like that for hours. Suddenly there came a pleasantly familiar whooshing sound as the blue rectangular shape of a London police box melted into view right there in the living room. Annoyingly, this blocked the kitchen, but all the same the couple were more than pleased to see their friend had come to them. They were in great need. "Doctor!" cried Amy and Rory in unison as they leapt to their feet. The door opened to reveal an old man with white hair and a cravat. "Doctor?" asked Rory, confused. The couple stared at the man and then exchanged glances. "Sorry," said the man. "Wrong me." And with this, he snapped the door shut and the TARDIS vanished, only to reappear 1 second later, and this time a woman stepped out, naked except for the falcon on her head. Rory gawped, and Amy slapped him. "Ugh!" spat the woman in frustration, and once again the TARDIS left. When again it returned instantly, a zebra emerged, and asked if this was better. "Worse?" said Amy. "Much worse?" The TARDIS disappeared and reappeared one more time. "How's this?" said the Doctor, with a curious mixture of a cheeky grin and a studious look, running his hand through his hair and letting it fall back over his face. "Yeah, that's you," said Rory. "That's the you that's you?" said Amy. "The real you?" "Oh, so this is the real me," said the Doctor. "Good to know, I'll try to remember. Apologies for all the confusion. Kinda like an analogy, only on reflection, not like said analogy. And forget the analogy." He looked around the room for somewhere to sit. "Saw the ad you put in tomorrow's Times." With this, he threw himself onto the armchair, crossed his legs, adjusted his bow tie, and hugged a cushion. "So then, what seems to be the problem?" He gestured for the pair to sit, and they did so. "We had an argument," said Rory, and Amy hit him. "A domestic? You do realise I don't do marriage guidance, right?" Then, out of the corner of his eye, the Doctor noticed something out of place. The yellow diamond was from Combi Bomb 9, and had no business being on Earth. "Did you steal that?" "Yes, you did," said Rory, and Amy hit him again, hissing. "I thought it would look good there, and figured you wouldn't mind." Amy looked up at the ceiling as if searching for cobwebs, but really avoiding the Doctor's steely gaze, and scratched behind her ear. "Combi Bomb diamonds are among the most dangerous. What were you thinking?" "There's more, Doctor," said Rory. "This argument we had." Amy interrupted. "Somebody was supposed to buy hobnobs and came back with, what those things called?" "Jammy Dodgers," offered the Doctor. "Custard creams. Digestives." "No, no." Amy brought her hand to her head and closed her eyes. "What are they called? Spark plugs." "It was an honest mistake," Rory protested. "You didn't have to throw the mug of Horlicks on the floor." The Doctor was suddenly terrified. His eyes widened. "Did you say Horlicks?" "Yeah," said Amy. "What about it?" "Then we made up." Rory looked sheepish, and Amy glared at him through narrowed eyes. "I see," said the Doctor. Rory continued. "Well, after that it was like the argument was over, but neither of us ever tidied up the mess." "It would be like accepting the blame," exclaimed Amy. "When Rory blames me for throwing the mug, and she blames me for making her do it. We each just kept ignoring it. We acted as if the stain and bits of mug were just invisible, or some kind of fixture that had always been there. Even friends and neighbours seemed to realise it should be ignored. For days, for weeks, even when it started to grow and mutate. Like an elephant in the room." The Doctor frowned, getting up from his seat. "Do you know, I've never really understood that expression." No, Doctor," said Rory. "It actually did become an elephant for a while. A few more wings than they usually have, though." The Doctor took out his sonic screwdriver and knelt by a bald patch in the carpet. The screwdriver buzzed and whirred. "A monster made of love and hate and passion and anger and arguments and stubbornness and carpets and Horlicks, mutated by the radiation from a combi-bomb diamond. I love Horlicks, full of multi-goodness. Now it seems to have become multi-cultured." The Doctor looked up, obviously expecting a laugh. He coughed and moved past the moment. Amy and Rory just looked nervous and guilty. "Where is it?" The Doctor spoke as if to small children. "It's gone," said Amy. "We're not even sure what it looks like now." "Although the rollerblades did go missing around the same time," said Rory. Amy hit him again, and he felt a bruise forming on his upper arm. "Oh, we've got to get after it," exclaimed the Doctor. "That thing has to be stopped. The whole world could depend on it." At that moment, all three of them were startled by the most horrendous noise.